Now I noticed in the background here we have a couple of illustrations that were from your book. Could you talk about the one with the foraging teams? What is that all about?
Yeah, that illustration was drawn by a Harrisonville resident, Brian Hawkins, and it really illustrates one of the great unknowns in terms of events that hit Cass County. Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill became military stations during the Civil War. And in those days, the military stations were provisioned largely by foraging on the immediate countryside. So from the fall of 1861 until the war ended in 1865, on almost a daily and weekly basis, foraging teams left Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and scoured the countryside for cattle, for all types of livestock, for grain, for corn. They confiscated what they found and took it back to Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill, where they used it to provision local troops. And it devastated basically all the farms in Cass County.
Now explain this illustration that comes from the book, if you would.
This illustration is a very accurate depiction of what happened after Order Number 11 was issued in August, on August 25th, 1863. And what this illustration shows on the left-hand side of the picture would be Harrisonville. On the right-hand side of the illustration, you can see there's a long line of people moving from left to right. They're moving from Harrisonville to Pleasant Hill. And the importance of this illustration is that it depicts real Cass County families and real events and real circumstances that people faced during that 15-day period from August the 25th, 1863 through September the 9th. And you'll notice homes burning in the background because as people left their farms, Union soldiers in many instances immediately set fire to the homes and the barns. And you'll notice that the people, in many cases, particularly the children in this part of the picture, their faces are covered with handkerchiefs because the dust along the roads leading out of Cass County was oppressive. All first-hand accounts of the journey talk about the oppressive nature of the dust, that people could not breathe. The temperature hovered between 90 and 100 degrees for those 15 days. There was no water. Most of the streams are dried up, so people had to stop periodically and try to find water. All of the people that Brian has included in this illustration were families or individuals from Cass County itself. So without going through all the people, I'll point out one, and you can see that this lady on horseback seems to be leaving the county, while this lady is riding in a wagon and is returning to the county. This is in fact this same lady, Elizabeth McFerrin, who, when was told she had to leave her farm, had to leave her children on her farm, leave Cass County. She traveled south to find a wagon and oxen. She later came back against traffic to rescue her children and take them to St. Clair County, Missouri. So, one of the stories.
So Tom, if a person were interested in purchasing this book, how might they go about it?
They can, the easiest way to purchase the book is to visit my website, which is www.casscountyorder11.com. And that website, my website, talks about the book, what's contained in the book, and also is an easy spot to order the book, which can be shipped to your house.
And we thank you again and again and again for writing this book.